And yeah, that's it. So
FLCLimax.
yeah, what did you think of the whole thing?
A lot more things were answered that I thought would be answered.
Yeah, like questions were answered, questions were raised, some things were still left ambiguous.
Well, that anime definitely just happened to me.
Oh my. It's one of the most interesting animes I've ever seen.
There's definitely so much room for, like, people to create their own kind of images and headcanons on every single aspect of the anime.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a fun ride. Chaotic, and we have no idea where we're going, but it was fun nevertheless.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
I haven't seen much of Gainax's work, but it seems like they're really good at telling visual stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they can use motifs and all this action and to like express how the characters feel. Analyzing this series is gonna take, like, if you want to do it, you can do it. You can probably find videos of it, but it's really interesting to know what each piece means.
Yeah.
Like, I think the eyebrows have to do with something like adulthood or like loss of childhood.
I also like all the references. Like for this episode in particular, there's a complete parody of, you guys know the show Berserk, right?
Not really.
The anime Berserk. Well, in the final episode, in their final episode...
Spoiler alert for the viewers.
Well, there's actually a giant hand that looks exactly like the hand over there. And a character does sacrifice everything just to get what he wants on that final episode, just like this.
Was Berserk made by Studio Gainax?
I believe so.
Then
No, wait. I don't remember. But still, there's a complete utter parody of it.
I feel like I understand a bit more than when I started, but at the same time, the things I understand aren't really the kind of stuff that, like, you can explain. Like, it's not really understanding more as I have knowledge much more than what I had in the beginning of every character, and, like, whys and hows and wheres, but at the same time, I feel like there's so much more that could be expanded on that they're not going to do, and that leaves it so open to your own interpretation.
Which is...
I don't think Naruto actually gets to leave once, though. Like, Haruko did leave, and I think she wanted Haruko, and so did Amimi.
Yeah, like, at the end, things kind of... They went back to normal, sort of.
Yeah.
I guess.
I was surprised that was the direction it took. I mean, as much as it makes sense, the ending to me was a bit, like, sad, which, that doesn't make it a bad ending, you know.
Because he doesn't end up with...
Yeah, it's just, he doesn't, it seems like his life ended on a, like, it just kind of went back to the dreary, kind of sad note that it started on.
It kind of did, yeah.
Things definitely changed, though.
Yeah,
like,
definitely
Mamimi left.
Things are definitely different.
And at the end, they were wearing uniforms, so that means they're probably in, like, middle school.
Now. High school.
Well, they were different. The uniform, it wasn't the same uniform that Mamimi wore, so I'm thinking middle school, because that's, the next.
Maybe they went to a different high school. It's not sure to say, but they definitely, like, advanced with their life, and I think that's what the uniforms are supposed to show.
It's kind of sad to see what eventually ended up happening to Mamimi because of Haruko.
Mamimi probably dropped out of school.
Yeah, I feel like she may have dropped out of school beforehand, like even before the climax this episode.
Well, I don't know. Not before this episode, but before she left.
Yeah. Also, her photography name is Huli Huli. So now I know what Huli Huli is. It's definitely nothing else but her photographer name.
Because, I mean,
she's depressed. She has issues.
Well, she definitely has some kind of mental illness, I think. I mean, she burned down buildings.
Looking at it, she definitely clung to the main character, because that was the real connection she had to his brother.
Yeah.
She might have some dependency issues. Maybe that's the idea.
But
so maybe by moving on, she's bettering herself, and I don't know how it's affecting Naoto. Really, we didn't see much of it at the end.
I think what's most going to affect Naoto is Haruko leaving and looking like she's never coming back. Which I find very sad, honestly.
Yeah, like, there are a lot of things that are open to interpretation.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought, while I was rewatching, I was kind of thinking about the eyebrows thing. It was more representative of, like, a mistake that the eyebrows guy made. Like, he thought he had to move on with his life after Haruko left him or something, but, like, he was doing the wrong... Whatever he was doing the wrong thing. So, I mean, I've already told you that I think the eyebrows guy, he used to be... Like, Haruko was with him, when he was younger. So I think when she left him, that really affected him, and, like... So he kind of tried to just, like, mature out of it, but... because he was trying to do that and didn't just let it happen naturally or something. He was kind of going about it the wrong way. And, like, the fake eyebrows are sort of a symbolism, a symbol representing that.
Yeah.
And then when a similar thing happens to Naota, like, he encourages Naota to do the same thing that he did with fake eyebrows, but Naota doesn't want that. Instead he sort of embraced what his feelings for Haruko actually were.
I don't think Naruto would end up the same way as Eyebrows. Eyebrows is definitely my favorite character, by the way.
Yeah. He has a name. They said it once, but they only said it one time. Like, I don't remember what it was.
They definitely say Eyebrows more than they say his actual name.
Yeah, that's what he's known for. That's why we remember him so well.
I should probably figure out his actual name though, so I can search him later.
Fully coolly eyebrows, man. So yeah, another question that I didn't really think about until just now. Well, I don't know, maybe I thought about it earlier, but I was thinking about it just now. Haruko says she loves Adamus, but does she really, or does she just want his power? Because apparently his power can be stolen.
I think she just wants his power. Although I don't know how much she understands relationships anyway. Yeah. So
there are a lot of complicated relationship things in the show.
Yeah, actually, it makes more sense than real life relationships. Let's be honest.
That's the Fooly side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, personally, I like to. A headcanon I have, I think, is that maybe in like 20 years or so, Haruko comes back, and then Naoto's the same age as her because she's been traveling through space. Yeah, time dilation. I think that makes enough sense and has at least a little bit of chance of happening.
I don't think she'd look any different though.
Well, no, yeah, she wouldn't have really aged because time dilation. Like, whether or not they'd still be like their feelings for each other would be the same when that happens. I'd like to see when they're the same age how they would feel about each other. I guess.
Imagine if she tried to get another good head. Then Naruto will probably be very similar to Eyebrows guy.
Yeah.
Only like different motive, but otherwise very similar to Eyebrows.
But who knows? By then she may have actually caught Adamus.
Sure.
I can see why it's a well-received and well-known anime, because the episodes, the music, just watching it without caring about what could happen afterwards is a very good experience. But then if you so decide to, you can throw yourself into the fandom aspects of the anime, and there's so much material there for you to do whatever you want with, because they don't explain the perfect amount for you to just fill it up with your own ideas and thoughts, to the point where it's a really good framework for a show, to the point where you could almost have your own experience watching it, and I'm certain everybody has a different one.
So, was the giant bird, red bird in the end, was that Adamus flying off?
Well, yeah, they said it was.
Okay.
Or it was his power somehow. Like, Naota had his power and then let it go. So I think the bird was that.
Yep.
Naota should have kept the power. That would have been a better way to be with Haruko.
Yeah.
But I guess like the other side is like destroy your hometown. I guess compared to that, he made the right choice.
Yeah.
And no one blamed him in the end.
And everything was back to normal.
Yeah.
I definitely think it would be different if I tried to watch it again. But like I look at things differently.
It is. The show is definitely worth rewatching.
Yeah.
I've learned that by rewatching it a few times. And I definitely understood it better the second time, though, like all the plot and everything. Because in the early episodes they do mention things that doesn't make sense until you know the whole plot. And like it definitely feels different in different ways that you watch it too. Like the first time I watched it, I'd watch it like basically one episode per week type of thing, which is probably how it originally aired. Then there was one time where I like watched it all in one sitting, and then there's this, which is like 3 episodes, and wait a while, and another 3 episodes. Yeah, like it'll feel different in the different ways you watch it.
My overall thoughts on it is that I very much enjoyed it.
Yes, it would be up somewhere up there with something like Gurren Lagann.
It's very...
Gurren Lagann was made by Gainax.
Yeah,
right?
it was.
Yeah, so that's why I think they're really good at making these visual stories.
It manages to grab me in ways that I didn't expect it to.
Yeah, so. Also, I just find it really weird that they named him the Pirate King. If they come up with a better name. It's like the first time you hear that, you're like, is that a One Piece joke?
So something that I thought of, like, and I don't know how much this makes sense, but it makes enough sense to me. But the reason considered like the Pirate King, well, one thing that's confusing is that like who's on what side? That seemed to switch around a lot, or like the way they presented it was confusing. Like a lot of things in the show. And we did find out what Medical Mechanica wanted to do, which is like smooth out the brains of all the people on the planet.
From what it seems.
And that would kind of end the world because people wouldn't be able to function anymore. And so I feel like whatever Medical Mechanica is, I don't want to say it represents like the government, like the space government or anything, because it doesn't really seem like that, but it definitely does operate, in a way that like a government would. Like it has a plan, it executes the plan in an organized way. All the adults didn't think anything was wrong with it when it first came. And like, whereas Adamus sort of represents things, the opposite of that, where pirates, they're sort of like, they reject no rules and they do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And Haruko is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Didn't they say somewhere like that they should be enemies, Haruko and Adamus?
Yeah. I'm not sure what that means. Well, clearly a lot of what Haruko does is like inspired by Adamus, with like the guitar and the not seeming to follow any logical progression.
Including physics. She doesn't follow lots of physics either. Any law in general is rejects.
It's something that makes you think a lot.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like I love the thing that you guys are doing, because it's like, think.
Yeah, let's
the show sets it up and you guys fill it in, but there is definitely some metaphor to be found, and whatever it is up to whoever watches it.
I could make an argument for it being kind of like terrorism, because the government fears it as well. Like the eyebrow guy, he's scared of it, and he represents the government, as the government is trying to protect everyone from it, but everyone doesn't really care about it. So, like, how people these days don't care much for terrorism, but like they try to ignore it mostly.
I wouldn't draw that conclusion.
I know,
myself.
it's because like it came out in like 2000s, right? So it wasn't such a big problem.
I
back
do.
then.
I enjoy the fact that people are able to look at it this way, though. The fact that,
like I'm saying, you could. But
The
I don't
show
think it's a
sets
good
up that air of like, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean?
Yeah,
that's for you to decide.
Yeah, in the end, like a question that makes you think about is like, what does "fully coolly" mean?
Oh yeah, maybe that's the whole point.
That's
of the series.
that's the
Draw
question
your
it's
own
asking.
conclusion about its morals.
Fully Cooley is about love for weird things from space.
Yeah, she actually was an alien.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't lying about that. Who knows what she was lying about?
In fact, can't she even tell the truth at all?
She may have exclusively been telling the truth. Like, I mean, if you go back and rewatch, like, I don't know. She might have never said something that was a lie, but it just seemed like it was, because the way she was acting and...
That'd be interesting, because I think at one point she says she's an illusion or something. So...
Oh, yeah. that probably wasn't true. And unless the whole thing was a dream.
And how Louis just has been normal the entire time. Yeah.
Nothing out of the ordinary ever happens around here.
And
Also,
they could have
in the last episode they had a lot of fourth wall jokes.
a little bit.
I mean, there were those throughout the whole series. There was one like early in the first episode.
Yeah, but this is like where the most obvious ones were.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, this is the climax. They hate it when we do the like
Some manga.
Yeah.
thing.
it's really hard to stay in manga form. Let's just stay in anime form. Come on, you're the main character. You know this kind of stuff.
Exactly. I did enjoy it though.
I think it's an enjoyable show.
Yes. 6 episodes, and it's one of the best 6 episode anythings I've seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think a weird thing is that Conti stayed.
Yeah.
He was still there. That was strange. It's like none of the other things that came out of his head are there anymore.
Yeah. But overall, I think FLCL is a good show with a good OST that I would recommend to people to watch.
OST.
Yeah, the music was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really said much about the soundtrack this whole time, have we?
No.
I guess mainly because it hasn't. I mean, the songs are good, but they haven't stood out much, at least to me. My view on the soundtrack is that it was an anime soundtrack, as in, if I went back and watched over it and listened to the soundtrack, it would fit what was going on, but a lot of the time when it comes to anime, the soundtrack is there to accent whatever's happening on the screen.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it does that correctly. But there's nothing super huge and stand out. Like,
Yeah, I was listening to it recently because I have the soundtrack downloaded and I was doing something and I wanted music in the background. So I was listening to the FLCL soundtrack and I thought, like, this would be good music to just have on, like, in the background while you're having a conversation or something.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've seen that.
The music never takes the foreground. Like, in some animes, you'll have a character that is purely accented by music, and like, you know, you have a theme basically. You can see it in Kill la Kill when each character has literally their own theme that plays when things like that involve them happen, or you know, everyone who's seen Pokemon can tell you their motto as well as remember the like blaring horns and orchestrated thing that comes along with it every single time. But in FLCL, it felt much more like
The music supports the visuals.
which is what it's supposed to do.
Because the FLCL, it's, you know, an experimental type of show. With this Mist, I'm doing an experimental type of thing with it. You didn't know this, but I also like recorded, you know, on this with a couple other people, other my friends who you guys know, and yeah, I'm gonna like put them both in the same video. It's gonna be interesting.
Wait, so there's more people of us looking at this video? Or looking at FLCL?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And what I'm thinking of doing is, like, for each episode, you know, like for each episode there's still gonna be one video, but it's gonna be like half, you know, what you guys are saying and half what they're saying.
So you gotta add more voices to ours?
Yeah. Basically, I'm just giving myself more work to do. But I think the final product is going to be interesting and different. And it's going to be an interesting thing, because you're not together, and I haven't done that before.
So they did FLCL and we did FLCL.
Yeah.
Alright.
And we're gonna combine it.
Well, I hope they prove what I was saying, which is, you know, everyone experiences it just a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And I think that's completely true.
Put in the comments, team this side is the better reviewers of the show. Team this side, the other side is that side.
Yeah.
They'll know the difference.
Yeah. Probably they do too.
Especially for something like this.
Unless someday in English class they tell you to analyze it, then they'll tell you that you're wrong if you see it any other way.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I mean, if I get your commentary on the school system, but also if they watch this, like, for a class, that would be good. I mean, schools don't usually have entertainment
There is
of this
film
quality.
studies. There is film study, and they definitely could do this because there's so much symbolism and motifs and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
You gotta get past all that.
like, I've taken film
Yeah.
studies, so they could show something like this in film studies.
Maybe more like a college course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a college course feels right.
But it was very good.
Alright, so, unless you have any closing thoughts, I think we're done.
This was a fun and confusing ride. We took way too many stops and side trips, but we
Yeah.
got to the destination in the end.
Yeah, we did take a lot more stops and side trips than the audience knows that we did. So
What
That's-
stops and side trips?
that's something that the audience can analyze about this video.
Yeah.
Like,
It's,
you know-
it's a metaphor.
it has many layers. Like
Yeah.
we can talk about Fooly Cooly, other people can talk about us talking about Fooly Cooly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but regardless, it was a fun show, and I'm glad that you showed it to me.
I'm glad you think that. It does seem like it kept your attention the whole time.
It accomplished a very good amount of things in 6
did.
episodes.
After watching something great, let's watch something terrible, please.
What?
I think
Yeah.
I prefer to torture myself now.
This is a very good thing to have for first semester. I'm glad I could be here to experience Fooly Cooly and
Yeah,
have
well,
it happen
it's-
to me.
It's the first one that you're here for.
Yes.
It's gonna be like the fourth one I'm uploading, I think.
Yep. Well, thank you for having me. Hopefully, I will appear on many more.
Yeah, alright.
Eyebrows.
Best closing statement ever of all time. Of all time. Of all